Good evening and welcome to our August 25th, 2015 Ogden City Redevelopment Agency special meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all board members are present. We will turn the time to Vice Chair White for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. I think we have, is it Ryder Wilcox that's going to help us out with the Pledge of Allegiance? If he'd come up to the podium, please, and help us out. You're with Troop 90, is that correct?
Okay. Which way do I stand? Over here? Facing you
You're
guys?
pretty good right where you're at.
Okay. Please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance after me. Their eyes. Issue the proper salute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. You may be seated. Thank you.
Ryder, if you just real quick want to tell us which merit badge you're working on. And
We're working on citizenship in the community and citizenship in the nation by coming here. And so we have to come to a couple of these meetings to be able to learn about what's going on in the community and what's going on in the nation. So, yeah.
thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Very impressive that you're all in your uniforms and your leaders are in uniform. This is it's a good sight to see. Thank you for being here and for the good job you did for our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Okay, please now join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Next item is the approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, should we have the other scouts introduce themselves?
We could do. There's a lot of them, though. Why don't you guys just kind of come up and just form a line and tell us who you are, okay, would you? Yeah, just as you walk by the mic, tell us who you are.
I'm Ryder Wilcox. I'm the senior patrol leader of Troop 90.
Great.
Jared Hines, I'm the Assistant Senior Patrol Leader for Troop 90.
I'm Daljay Gallegos, and I am for the Leave No Trace trainer.
I am Leah Walker-Nice, and I am the scribe/librarian for Troop 90.
I'm Carson Hofer. I'm the patrol leader for Troop 90.
I'm Parker Winterbottom, and I'm the first aid chaplain's aide for Troop 90.
I'm Ben Rico, and this is my first night.
I'm Isaac Wilson, and I'm the quartermaster.
I'm Benson Rylands, and I'm the historian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was impressive.
It's impressive. Got all the positions filled, and that's great. Okay. Back to the approval of minutes. First minutes are of the regular meeting of May 12th, 2015. Board Member Gochner.
Thank you. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct.
And then the study session of May 12th, 2015, work session of May 26th, 2015, and the special meeting of June 2nd, 2015. Board Member Garner.
Thank you, Chair Heyer. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct.
Then the closed executive session of June 9th, 2015. Board Member Blair.
Yes, thank you, Chair Heyer. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
And the closed executive session of July 7th, 2015. Board Member Wicks.
Thank you, Chair Heyer. I reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
And finally, special meeting of July 7th, 2015. Board Member Stevens.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and they're correct, and I make a motion that we approve the minutes that were presented this evening.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Board Member Stevens, seconded by Board Member Blair to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed? All right. Next item is reports from administration. Kiesel Community Development Draft Project Area Plan. Welcome.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not part of Troop 90, but they are pretty cool. So I kind of wish I was.
Get your uniform, they'll take you. I should have introduced you. You're Brandon Cooper.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time tonight. So the request before you is the setting of a public hearing for September 22nd for the draft community development plan for the Kiesel Community Development Project area. That's a mouthful. The creation of a CDA is regulated by state statute Utah 17C, Utah Code 17C, Chapter 4, and it outlines in that chapter certain steps that need to occur in order for a community development project area to be established. The first step has already occurred on July 28th, the adoption of a resolution authorizing the creation of a draft plan, the preparation of a draft plan, which we have done now, and then the availability of the draft plan to the public, which is currently ongoing, and then the setting of a public hearing for the plan to be heard. So that's the steps that we are in, and it's my pleasure to talk about some of the requirements that the plan must meet under the state statute. I'd like to talk about three. There's about 11 or 12, but three I think are most important. Number one, the boundaries of the plan, which I've shown a map here, and I'll explain in just a moment how the creation of this area would affect the general area, and then the tax increment incentives that we're proposing as part of the plan. So the yellow line represents the boundary. The project area is approximately 39 acres between 24th and 25th Street, Kiesel and Wall. The major elements in the boundary is the Marriott Hotel here, the Lindquist Field. We have the old Amalgamated Sugar property here, and then we have some other historic buildings scattered throughout. And that's really part of the reason why this area was selected. I see some squinting. Are you able to see some of this?
Close to 24 font, it's good. There.
The orientation
there.
is strange.
That's
might
better.
help. Okay. So we have the junction over here that's outside of the plan. As we investigated this area of the city, there's certain key things that we would like to see happen here in terms of a redevelopment scenario. Number one, 24th Street is the major corridor coming into the city, so we want this area of the city to represent well in terms of traffic and the approach into the downtown. There's a lot of major contributing buildings and elements that are within this boundary that we think are significantly contributing to the overall benefit and vitality of the downtown. The first being these buildings here. This is the old Proudfit building. This is the Thorstenson building. I know this is the old Stevens Henniger. Some of you might know it as something else. This is the old post office. Over here we have the Berthana Ballroom, the Kiesel building here. This is a building that Jim Alvey owns. There's a Browning building on this side. So as we look at the nature of this area, there's a host of buildings that really are underutilized. Some of them are vacant. All of them could be significantly contributing if they received some additional attention and investment. We also have the newly renovated hotel here, which is a major amenity to the city. We have the ball field that really has some opportunity around it in terms of additional development that supports the ball field and the people coming to the ball game. And then as we contemplate doing some improvements on Grant Avenue that include extensions of the Grant Promenade potentially in the future, then we see a real opportunity to showcase some prime residential and mixed-use properties there. So in terms of the selection of the boundary, those are the major reasons why this area was chosen. We're looking at some extra parking here also. In the recent past, this property, and this property have been purchased for the future potential of some additional public parking. That parking would also benefit the conference center as well as the Kiesel building and the Berthana, both of which largely are vacant. There is some uses in the bottom of the Berthana, but the ballroom is empty. It has just recently transferred ownership, and that new owner has some great vision for it. And establishing this project area will give the ability of the agency to assist in some of that redevelopment. So here's a major influx of activity here. This area is targeted right now to be an expansion of some of the major downtown users that currently exist. So we're looking at potentially supporting that expansion as well. Tax increment incentives are mainly the reason why we establish these types of project areas. And in a CDA, tax increment is established as a tool in a different way than RDA or an EDA, in that we are able to negotiate the budget with the individual taxing entities instead of doing the traditional TEC meetings and a resolution by the TEC. So tax increment is intended to be used as a result of this district to support the projects that I've mentioned, mainly the Kiesel, Thorstenson, this project over here. We will be negotiating with the individual TEC members to establish those budgets and those contribution levels. But we hope that we can get that resolved throughout the rest of this year. Those interlocal agreements will come before the agency board individually for approval as they're negotiated. So again, tonight's proposal is to set the public hearing to take public comment on this draft plan. The draft plan has many more components to it. It is available at the recorder's office for public review and comment. It's also available on the 4th floor so that folks can grab it there and read it during business hours. And then we have a process to receive all the comment, if any, and then if approved during September 22nd, we would be able to present any public comment that we've received and present the plan for revision, rejection, or approval on that date. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Cooper?
What did you say? By when?
September 22nd.
Okay. But to get the full process done, what's your ideal time frame?
Well, if adopted, if the plan is adopted on the 22nd, then a concurrent proposal is sent to the City Council for adoption by ordinance. And then once that's established, then notice is sent out to various entities regarding that adoption. So at that point, it's effectively in place. There is a protest period after that, but effectively it's in place. The interlocal agreements can happen after that and will happen after that over the course of the rest of this year.
Will the entities vote on this proposal at all?
No. Once the board approves the draft plan and the City Council adopts it by ordinance, then the district is established.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
If I could, Chair, apparently there's some confusion on where this is in your packet. The draft plan, it starts on page 24 as Exhibit B of the proposed resolution.
I guess maybe I just had one clarifying question. I know there's the draft plan and it sort of goes through all the basics, and then there's an appendix for the official plan. Is the official plan the draft plan? Or is it still in the works, or?
So the draft plan is what is being provided to the community for review. And then upon the adoption of the resolution to approve the draft plan on this 22nd of September, then the official plan is attached to it as an exhibit. So when you adopt that resolution, you're adopting the official plan as an exhibit to it. Does that make sense?
But it could change based on public input or
Right.
something during that process.
So as we convene on the 22nd, if that's the case, then my job would be to illustrate any changes between the draft plan and the official plan so that you can understand what public comments we've received and or adopted.
Okay, thank you. And thanks for that clarification. All right. Any discussion?
If there's no discussion, I will go ahead and make a motion that we set the public hearing for September 22nd, 2015.
I second it.
I have a motion by Board Member Blair, seconded by Board Member Stevens, to set the public hearing for September 22nd on Resolution 2015-12. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Or any opposed? Okay. Next item on our agenda is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the board regarding your concerns or ideas for the Ogden Redevelopment Agency. Please state your name and address clearly for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Some of the scouts are smiling. Nobody's coming up, though. Comments from our RDA Executive Director.
Just a quick moment to thank Brandon and Tom for their work on this. A lot of those are some pretty unique projects, and I know you guys have worked really hard on this, so appreciate those efforts.
Okay, any comments from our board members? All right. The next item on our agenda is a consideration of a closed executive session. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move into a closed executive session.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Blair, to move into a closed executive session. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Blair?
Aye.
Board Member Garner?
Aye.
Board Member Gochner?
Aye.
Board Member Stevens?
Aye.
Board Member Wicks?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye. That's unanimous. We will adjourn from the conclusion of the closed executive session from the other room, and that there will be a city council work session that will follow that. And the items that will be discussed are on the agenda. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.